Well, good morning, everybody. It's Barb Katie here. I'm so glad to be with you on this Monday. It's been a great weekend for me, and I'd like to share some thoughts with you today, as I usually do, that made my weekend extra special. First of all, I want to thank all of you who took a few minutes out of your busy life to say happy birthday to me. That was just absolutely wonderful yesterday. I so enjoyed all the greetings and the expressions of care and concern that you showered upon me. It made me feel very humble, very appreciated, very loved, and I can't thank you enough for what it did to boost my spirits and warm my soul. It was just absolutely magnificent. Over the weekend, I had company. I had a really good friend who's been a friend for over 4 decades who spent time with me. We've been trying to get together forever, and it just, you know how things go, it just never seemed to really work out. We make plans, life would get in the way, we'd readjust, we make more plans, life would get in the way again and we would readjust again. And finally, we just said, we're just going to do it now. We both love Halloween. So come over for Halloween and we'll spend the holiday together. And she said, well, if we're going to do that, I might as well just stay until after your birthday. And I said, terrific. We haven't celebrated a birthday together in ever so long. That would be wonderful. So we made plans. Everything worked out perfectly beautifully. Weather was ideal. We had lots of really cute trick-or-treaters show up at the house, and that's always a heck of a lot of fun. I just love the creativity of little children and their tentativeness in approaching a stranger, because we all teach our children stranger danger, be careful, be cautious. And what was really nice in my neighborhood this year as the kids came that were trick or treating is every single one of them had mom and or dad or both uh, uh, in attendance as they made the rounds from house to house in the neighborhood. And those who could not be home for the adventure had left candy sitting in a chair at the edge of the driveway for the children to take something. And, this, bear in mind, is an old, well-established, small neighborhood that's generational. We have people my age, and we have people that have just started families living here in the community, and it's a community of consistency. I've lived in this place forever, and young couples are just starting out here. So we're very protective of each other, and we look out for each other as neighbors should do. Um, as the people paraded through the neighborhood in costume, and even the parents wore costumes, there was a consistency. The unwritten law of our neighborhood is if there is a light on and candy at the end of the driveway. Nobody's home. Take what you wish and leave some for the people to come after you. If the light's on, somebody will be sitting outside to talk with you and the children as they venture forward. And there's sort of a tradition. Parents stand up on the street, children walk down the sidewalk to the front door. And the thing that amazed and delighted me the most at this time was that every single small child that came to the front door, the first thing they said to me was, Happy Halloween. Not trick or treat, but Happy Halloween. And so I said, Happy Halloween back to you. Please help yourself to something. And they would all pick very carefully one thing. And I would say, you can have more than one if you like. And some of them would say, Oh, thank you. And they would take one for each hand, depending on their age. And some of them would only take one and say, "Oh, this is enough." And some of the parents would cheer from the sidewalk, "Please, no more than one. Please, no more than one." So it was all fine. It was all good. And I did have some candy this year, which the kids all, I don't always have candy. Sometimes I have other things that are inedible for the kids, but they don't care what it is. They like it just because it's a free bonus little gift that they weren't expecting. At any rate, every single child, as they left, said, "Thank you." Wow, what a powerful word. What a powerful expression. Thank you. So simple, so sincere, and so appreciated, um, which gave me great hope and faith for the future of the world that these responsible parents are making sure their children grow into wonderful adults. And I look forward to that with such joy and such positivity. It just started the week off in the best possible way for my friend and I to enjoy a time together with each other and uh, the weekend as it was going to evolve. Um, so a positive mindset was absolutely part of the experience that we were having. We had made plans to go out to dinner afterward um, because our trick or treat season is right during the dinner hour, and I wanted to see the kids, and my friend wanted to see the kids because where she lives, they don't get many children trick or treating. So that's what we did afterward. We went out to have a bite to eat. As we were leaving, I said, "Well, there's this family restaurant that I really would like to go to this evening. Let's go there." And so off we went. Well, when we got there, they were just closing, which was unusual because they were closing early. And the lady at the door said, "Oh, well, trick-or-treaters were out tonight, and there wasn't any customers coming in because everybody was staying home. And so we decided to close early." And I said, "Well, okay, I understand that." And I was sort of disappointed. And my attitude was a little grumbly. I want to take my friend to this restaurant because it's my favorite. Whine, whine, whine. You know how that goes. And as I was thinking about, well, where can we go now since this option is closed? And it really didn't matter. What mattered was the time we were spending together. I'm thinking about my attitude, not about anybody else's, because I was the grumpy Gus. And I thought, it is in my power to make the decision as what kind of an evening this is going to be. I can continue to be a grump, which probably will affect wherever we go, because I would bring to it negative energy. Um, what can I do to turn this around? Because this is really my problem. It is not their problem that they chose to close early because they did not have customers. It was my problem that I showed up there with expectations that didn't match the reality of the situation for whatever reason. And I can make the decision to still turn this into a lovely experience. So, we drove through town and I'm thinking, like, we could go here, we could go there, blah, blah. And I passed a place to go and I said, let's just give this a try. So we pull into the parking lot of the establishment. We get out of the car, go up to the door, and yes, they're open. Yes, dine in is still an option. Come on in. Very good. Thank you so much. And then we get inside, and I'm still a little bit grumpy from my disappointment. And not particularly trying to either mask it or not mask it. It's just the way I was at that moment. And we go inside. Young man takes us to our table, and there was no light on the table. And I said to him, I said, "I'm sort of blind." I said, is there a table that has a light on it so I can read the menu? And he said, oh, yeah, there is. Let me move you over here. So he did. And so we moved over to the other table. He brings menus out to us, and we're visiting and talking. And he's uh, on his cell phone, and I'm not real thrilled with that, but that's okay. Just let it go. And he says, "Are y'all ready to order yet?" And I said, "No, I'm not. Give us a few minutes." And he said, "Well, can I bring you something to drink?" And I said, "Yeah." And my friend said, "Yeah, I'll have a water." And so we ordered the drinks, and we're looking at the menu. We've decided what we want, and I just decided as he walked away, I said, you're not being real positive here. You can turn this around and make it a fun experience if you wish. The power it lies within you as to how this is going to evolve and how his table service for us is going to be. So after a very brief inside my head talk with myself, I got right with myself and this young man. And I began to treat him as I would like to be treated at the end of a shift on a day where business has been slow. Uh, and he's tired, and uh, the day is just about to close. And I thought, well, let me give you the gift of my best self instead of my worst self. And so I started just looking at him as a fellow traveler in life, as a fellow human being that I wanted to take the time to know. Nice young guy. His parents had obviously done a lot of work with him because he was polite, he was smiling, he was doing his best to make sure that our needs were being met as he's waiting very patiently for us to take our order. So I began to just do little things that I normally do when I'm talking to someone who is taking their time to meet my needs in a situation like this. And it was amazing to see his smile get bigger and his eyes get brighter and his whole body posture change. He was actually responding to my change in attitude. And as a result of my change in attitude, I was feeling better about me, which was delightful. It was just absolutely, totally delightful that the two of us were now interacting. And my friend was joining in, and we were joking and laughing, and we were having the best time ordering stupid food that, we weren't going to eat a huge meal because it was late, but we were ordering a snack that we were going to enjoy, and we were eating our salads and stuff, and it was just wonderful. And after everything was said and done, and he said, "Why don't you let me take your check up? Because normally in this place, you had to go to the register yourself and pay for your food." And I said, "Oh, that would be great. I'd love that." And so he did. He took the check up and came back, and he um, was just the nicest young man I think I've seen in a long, long time. And he brought his buddy with him, and his buddy began to interact with us. And we're two old ladies, and these are two young guys, and it was like a family home week, like grandma and the grandkids were getting together. So that showed me that I have the power to determine how my day's going to go. I don't have to let whatever negativity I may have lingering from some other thing over which he had no control affect this interaction, this part of the day. So off I went, and the next day rises, and we had planned to go down to one of my favorite places in the world, which is the Appalachian uh, glass blower shop because my friend had never seen such a thing. And down we went, and the glass blower was in, and he was making the days thing because they tend to make one thing a day, and they'll talk to you about it, explain it, et cetera, et cetera. And so we're asking him some questions, and my friend had a whole bunch of questions about what he was doing and how and why, and just various things about melting glass and what made it change color and all that kind of stuff, and how you blew it and how you pulled it. And she's having a wonderful time with this gentleman. And the more he is engaged by her, the more open and receptive and giving he became to her and with both of us. And as other people came past the furnace, they too became engaged. And, we had a conversation among several people about several things the whole time we're watching it. And we're looking at different things in the shop, and he's becoming more engaged and showing us more things, and it was much more than it could have been if we had just sat like lumps on a log and had no interaction with him as a fellow human being on the journey of life together. Instead, it was really fulfilling and rewarding for him and for us to be engaged in this conversation and this positive energy that we were sharing with each other, all about the attitude each of us brings to the interaction, because your attitude really can determine the course of the direction of your life, uh, and how the end result will manifest itself. Very significant to understand that life doesn't always just happen, that there's often subtle clues that will alter the pathways. And a lot of those subtle clues you can put in play and put in place if you are aware of your contribution to the entire process and the power you have to direct outcomes. Um, at any rate, we ended up buying several little things, which I knew we would. I have never left that place without buying something that I treasure to this day. I just love glass, and I love the whole process of the artisans who make it, in turning uh, sand and rock into beautiful works of art. It just amazes me every single time I see it happen. So that again was extremely enlightening and powerful to me. It's not things that you don't know. I mean, this isn't rocket science we're talking about, but it's talking about keeping things front of mind and present in your daily life so that each day is going to be the very best day it possibly can be. And I think that's the thing that we need to remember the most as we move through the day, is that each thing needs to be as best it can be. And I'm going to stop for a moment. I'll be right back. Okie doke, I'm back now. I hope everything worked out okay. Uh, and we'll continue here. I had an interruption, as you might have figured, since I saw people calling me with birthday wishes, and I needed to say I will call you right back in just a few minutes. So apologize for that. Anyway, moving forward, what impressed me most after that interaction was to reflect on how negativity can enter your mind and affect outcomes of your daily interactions, and the need to be aware and to analyze it and to reflect on what you can do in real time in the moment to turn it around, so that what has the potential for being a really negative experience can be altered to become a positive experience. We can train ourselves to flip the script, and something that could have been a real bummer can become a memorable joy that we will treasure for the rest of our lives. Uh, there is power in recognizing, realizing, and readjusting our attitudes. Tremendous power there that will help you in living your best life, that will help me in living my best life, and will help all of us in building the best experiences and interactions possible with each other. I'm going to close with the thought today that I pull from a poem called Today that I have probably mentioned to you a dozen times because it is a poem that I truly treasure and have committed to memory many, many years ago. And I use sort of as a touchstone at different points throughout my life. And I'm not going to quote the entire poem, but I'm going to give you the opening stanza and the closing stanza of this poem. The opening line goes, outside my window, a new day I see, and only I can determine what kind of a day it will be. That's basically how I start every day. Is it's up to me to make the best of this gift that I have been given. And then the closing line, which is sort of like my reflection in the evening, uh, you know, as I reevaluate the day and how it evolved and my role in it. I remind myself always every day, I have faith in myself and believe what I say. And I personally intend to make the most of each day. And I do just that. I hope you do just that too. I hope you will intentionally try to make the very best of this day that we have been given to share together. I'm going to get off here now and wish you that best day and enjoy your role in making it so for every single person that you come across in your path through today's journey. I will talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye for now.